Hello everyone, Linda Israel here, and today I'm going to show you how to use some of those mixed media pages, maybe a gel print that I've been showing you how to make in my mixed media tutorials, how to use those in a junk journal page. So what I've got here is a couple of strips. They're about an inch, almost 2 inches wide by not quite 8 inches tall. And here's what I did. I took the strip and I glued it to another couple of pieces of paper to make it thicker. You could put it on cardstock if you want, but I didn't want it to make it so thick with the cardstock that it just took up so much bulk. But when I did, I glued it to a piece of copy paper, about a 1/2 inch of a tab on this side, and folded it over, and we're going to use that to glue down. So I've done that twice, and then I've got from the Steampunk Punked Out Steam journal kit subscription box that I have, the peach colored piece of paper, and I think I want to spray some tattered angels on that. So let me get a stencil and the tattered angels out. So in my box, I have the Almost Gears stencil that comes in the Punked Out Steam subscription box. And then I have the Tattered Angels that come in the Punked Out Steam subscription box. And I'm just going to spray this. It's close to the same color of peach, but it'll give just a little bit of a hue onto the page. So you'll see a little bit of a decoration. I'm going to grab another one of these peach pages and lay that on top of the stencil, and what that'll do is it'll pick up any of the tattered angels that's on top of the plastic stencil, and you'll basically get 2 sprays sessions that will decorate 2 pieces of paper. So here's one, and it had a little bit of another color on top, so it's got some dark variations here and there. It's kind of cool. Kind of cool. You can see the gears. All right, we're going to dry this and then I'll be right back. All right, so that piece is dry, and now we're going to take these little pieces that have the little tab on here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this tab down onto the coral colored paper. So we're just going to line this up with the edge. I want to make sure that this is really smooth here so that when I put a journal card in, it doesn't catch on the edge. Now we're going to glue across the top and across the bottom, and that's going to create a pocket. This is a great way to add a pocket if you want it to be the full depth, or maybe you don't have enough paper to get the pocket that you want. Add another piece to it. All right, I'm going to repeat that on this side. I have a couple of the gears that come in the kit, and I've grabbed some craft paint, and I'm going to paint these a teal color. I think they will pop if I do that. I'm just using a standard paintbrush and dipping the paint, or the brush into the paint, and then I'll coat both of these and dry them, and then probably coat them again. So those are looking pretty good. I think I want to do one more thing, which is to add some tattered angels to them. So I'm going to get my spray box back out. Lay these in here. And I've got the teal color that's in the Punked Out Steam Tattered Angels kit that I have in my shop. And we're going to spray that on top. And then I'll dry these. Adding the spray gives a little bit of shimmer and alters the color. You kind of get a distressed look when you spray on top of craft paint because it'll pool in some areas, and I like the way that looks. I think those will look really cute on my page. I've got a couple little butterflies that I thought I would put on here, so I'm going to glue these onto the little side pockets here. Putting glue on the back side of the gear. Little dots work best. And then I've got the small butterfly from my shop that I have painted with Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist. Kind of like a watercolor. I'm going to repeat that on this side. I've got a little scrap of some craft cardstock, and I have a little couple of journaling cards that I want to put into the pockets. But I want to make sure that when I fold this in half, that my journal card, since I put the page in there a certain way, should fit right in that pocket with lots of room so it doesn't get caught up in the binding. And I think what I want to do is I want to stamp the word journal on this scrap. So I've got I think it's called Journal Quartet. So this is one of the stamps from Journal Quartet. And I've got some archival black ink, jet black. And we're going to stamp this kind of at the bottom here. And then we're going to trim this off. So I'm going to use my paper cutter because I want it straightish, if you will. And I'm going to add some distress inks to the edges. And I thought it might look kind of cute to have that over the edge. So this is a 5x7 journaling card. This is one of my mixed media pages where I used a piece of book page that I scraped with paint. Then I laid a stencil on top and daubed through that stencil, and that's how I got that design. So I think this would be kind of cute on the side. So I'm going to glue that down. These have already got distress ink on them. I like to get my kits and then start fussy cutting everything out and going ahead and adding the distressed ink to it. And then I just have a pile of the elements here to the side, so I can just grab one and put it down, and I don't really have to think about, oh, did I put distress ink on that? And then like have the glue on the back and then realize it didn't have distress ink on it and try to add distress ink. So that'll go in that pocket. And I got a couple other already made items that we'll use, but I'm going to set this aside because I've got another side to this that I want to show you how to create. So now what I have is another mixed media page. This one was using some junk mail or something like that. It looks like it was insurance definitions of an insurance policy. And I went ahead and coated the whole page by scraping the paint across in one color, and that was kind of this teal with a little bit of purples in the corners and a little bit darker blue here. Then I used from the May Stencil Club, I used the Stained Glass Gears stencil with some pink acrylic paint and then sponge through it. So that's what you're seeing is the background was the scraped paint, and then the foreground is the stencil design. Well, this is going to be the other side of my page. And I took another one of these mixed media pages and I cut it into a square, and then I cut it in half. So here is the two pieces. And then I attached one to another piece of paper so that I would have a way to make a pocket. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to make sure, yes, I'm going to go this way. I'm going to fold my page in half so I know where my halfway mark is on my page. Sometimes I like to go in and just add a little bit of distress ink right down the center. You won't really see it when you're putting your journal together, but it kind of helps as a guide. And then I'm going to go ahead on this piece, I'm going to put some distress ink all the way around. And I think what I'm going to do now is I just used a white piece of paper and I want to add some color to that. So I'm going to get the spray box out again and I'm going to lay the Almost Gears stencil inside of it. There's a green that comes in the Punked Out Steam Tattered Angels. So I'm going to get that green out and I'm going to spritz over, kind of mop that up onto a random piece of paper. I have a fan that likes for me to save all these little pieces of paper that I stamp off of and use Tattered Angels on. So I make a pile and I give them to her whenever she places an order. All right, so now this has some paint on it. I'm going to go ahead and dry it. I've got some teeny little magnets. And what I want to do is I want this, when it closes, to stay closed. I should have put the magnet in there before I adhered this piece of paper on the back side, but I think I can figure a way around that. So what I'm going to do is I've got a little heart punch here, and I'm going to look for a scrap of a book page. Here we go. And we're going to go in here and just punch a little heart. And then what I'm going to do is, I know I want the magnet here, so I'm going to put a little drop of glue right there. I'm going to add some distress ink to this little heart, okay? And that's probably more glue than I need, so I'm going to pick up just a little bit. I'm going to grab one of these tiny little magnets. I'll have a link in the description box where you can find these on Amazon. And then I'll put that in the glue, kind of tap it into place. And then I'm going to put just a little bit of glue on the back side of the heart. And then I'm going to place that right over the magnet. What that's going to do is help keep that magnet in place, and you don't see the little metal magnet. Whenever you flip this up, you'll see this cute little heart. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to close it. I'm going to lay this on the back side. So there's my heart that I just added, and I know I want a magnet on this side, so I'm going to grab another magnet. Sometimes they're easier to get if you have them separated. I think I have two. I do. All right, so the reason why I'm doing it this way is that magnet is now stuck to the other magnet on the other side. And what I'm going to do now is put another little piece of paper. This time it doesn't have to be a heart shape because we're not going to see it. So I just want a piece that can go over that magnet and will help hold it in place. Okay, so now it's in place, and I want this to become a tuck spot on this page, and then you'll also be able to flip this up and write on the inside. So I'm going to glue on this side and make this a pocket. So I'll let that dry for just a moment. And then I have an envelope here, and I want to use this other part of the triangle that I had earlier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it onto this envelope in the center, and that way I can use it in my journal here. So I'm going to go across here to the point and fill that in just a little bit. Then I can line this up. And what I'm going to do is take my scissors and trim off that white area that's sticking out. Now you can choose to cut this to fit the envelope. I kind of like that it's longer and pointier than it is here. So the next thing I'm going to do is I want to put another magnet onto my page, and it's going to go on this flap and then on the back side of this page. So what I'm going to do first is we're going to get a little piece of paper to put over this because I don't really want the sticky part of this to show. So let me grab a piece of paper that we're going to line the inside of this envelope with, and I'll be right back. I found a piece of paper that was another one that I had rolled the brayer off on, and I thought it would look good to kind of line the inside of this envelope. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of looking at this. I think I can get away. It won't come all the way down if I line it. So I'm just going to do the flap. So what I'm going to do is, I know I want another magnet up here. So I'm kind of lining this up here. All right, so what I'm going to do is put some glue up here and place a magnet. So put a little glue. Make sure I only have one magnet, not two. And then I'm going to close the flap over on top of this page. But first I'm going to add some glue along the perimeter and zigzag it down the middle, so that when I close this flap over, it will glue onto this piece of paper. I can feel my magnet right here. And now what I'm going to do is take my scissors and trim this off. I'm going to go ahead and add some distress ink to the edges. Alright, so this page or piece is going to go right over the edge here. And I want a magnet on this page to hold this flap down. So I'm going to flip it over, pull it back. I can kind of feel where the magnet is. So I'm going to grab another magnet. Make sure I only have one again. I keep getting two because they're so tiny. All right, so I just pushed the magnet on top of the other magnet. I'll kind of zoom in. I don't know if you can see it. Right there is the magnet. So again, I'm going to line this up, make sure it's all in the right spot. And I'm going to grab a piece of paper and I'm going to glue over the magnet here. All right, so you can see this little piece of paper that I just glued on top of that. So now when we look at this, when you pull it up and then put it down, it sticks right on there, okay? So next I have a pocket that I think I want to put over here, so let me find that piece of paper. I've got part of the Steampunk kit, and I started to make this as a tuck spot to go this way with a journaling card behind it, and I got to looking at it, I thought, well, I could get away with rotating this and pretend that the flying bug there is just flying down, and then it could be a pocket down here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to glue this down, putting glue on 3 sides. And then I've got the Voyage Extraordinaire that I thought would look kind of cute on the bottom here. So I'm going to paste that in place. This edge of the paper to me is kind of thin, so I'm going to grab some washi tape just because I don't really care what it looks like. I just want it to have a little bit more thickness behind it, if you will. So I'm just going to tape this, and I'll do it on the other side as well because it may become a hidden pocket. So I'm just taking my scissors and trimming off the excess tape. All right, so now what I'm going to do is we're going to go back to this page, get my magnets out of the way, and making sure that it is right side up, I'm going to flip it over, lay it down, and then I'm going to adhere at the top and the bottom of this page onto the other page so that then when we fold it up, we've got one page, if you will, okay? So glue across here and across the bottom. And then I'm going to stack these together. I'm going to go around the edges and apply any distress ink that's needed to kind of help blend those together. And now let's start putting everything together. So I've got a journaling card that I made. Again, this is another one of my mixed media pages and a couple of the elements from the Steampunk kit, Punked Out Steam. So that's going to go inside there. And then this slips in between the 2 pages. And then the magnet will keep that tab flap down of the envelope. And then this piece will fold out. And I think we could add some more decorations on here. So I've got this little guy. I think he could go right here in the middle of that. So it's just another one of the decorations from the Punked Out Steam kit. We'll glue that down right here. Let me grab something to put on this one. I think I'm going to use the vintage typewriter there. I think it'd be kind of cute. Kind of showing journaling and making notes and whatnot. And then to put in this tuck spot, I took one of the tags that comes in the kit and I folded it to make a little envelope. And I used another one of these images on this side to make a little tuck spot right there. On this side, I had some scraps, and this is a rubber stamp that I fussy cut out. And then I had another little scrap here that I folded in half and stamped on and made that a little note card. I thought it would be kind of cute to put right there. And then I have a little bit more color. This is one of the pieces that was left over when I showed how to use the gelato masterboard. This was the alternate color, and I thought that would look kind of good in this as well. So you got a little bit of variety there. And on this side, I've got another little mixed media page and one of the printed cards that I thought could go in there. And then I have this tag, but I don't like that when I put it in here that it's so tall that it sticks out the top. Some people like that. It's not for me. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and cut this off at the top here. My big scissors. And I'll go ahead and add some distress ink across the top. And I just love the way these images are together, so I'm not going to add anything else to it, but that'll go in that pocket there. So this side is pretty much done. I could put something else tall in there. If I find something, I'll put it in there, but we're going to flip it over to the other side. Here is a journaling card that we made, so that's going to go over here. I've got a folded card that I just layered elements that will go in here. And then we've got one of the printed journaling cards that I thought would go over there. And then we can close this up, and that is our junk journal page. So again, we've got a flap here that comes up and then down. These items come out, then the envelope can come completely out, so you can write on both sides of this envelope, and you have the journaling card that's inside. And then we can flip this over. There is a hidden pocket here, so if you wanted to put additional things behind that envelope, you could. Then we've got this pocket here, this pocket here. Then there is a pocket here, so you can put things in there if you want. And then on the back side, we have this pocket with 3 things inside of it. Well, I hope you liked seeing another way to use those mixed media pages, your gel prints, in a junk journal page to add some color, add some fun to your junk journal pages. And in essence, this could be 2 separate pages that you make. You could back them with something else if you so choose. But I thought it would be kind of cool to see how a full page with lots of pockets could be made. This could be even a cute little portfolio because it's thick and heavy enough that if you made a little cover to go over it, it could be its own little container of things to write in. Well, I hope you liked that. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. Check the description box for links to the products as well as my Facebook group, Friendly Junk Journal People, and by Linda Israel. Check out, let's see, Calico Collage. Her group is Fans of Calico Collage to get some great things there. And of course, the description box for links for the items that I used today. Share this video with your friends if you like this enough to see if your friends would like it. And of course, let's see, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. All right, if you have any comments, comment below. Thanks so much for watching. Have a fabulous day. We'll see you next time. Lots of love to you. Bye.